Hey, what's up, y'all? This video is super impromptu. I actually didn't plan on making a video out of this. I just was going to do the process myself. Today I am replacing the Evap canister in my 2018 Alfa Romeo Giulia Q4. So one of the things I've been battling with is the P2422 code, which if you have a code reader and you read it, comes out to the evap canister error, right? So essentially there's a canister in here that evaporates the fumes out of the gas tank and for emissions, and then it routes it all the way back up into the engine or something like that, or maybe it routes it back into the gas tank. I'm not really sure, but anyway, it takes the gas tank fumes and puts them somewhere else, right? And it's an emissions thing. And over time and just wear and tear and weather and stuff like that, that canister can go bad and the valve can get clogged and it won't evaporate the fumes correctly, and it'll throw a code. And one of the telltale symptoms that you have a failing evap canister is you will be going to fill up gas and it will stop filling up every couple of seconds. So you'll fill up for 3 to 5 seconds and it'll click as though the car's full, even though you know the car's not. It barely has any gas in it. That's one of the telltale signs that you have a failing evap canister. So don't get that confused with the purge valve, which is actually up by the front of the engine. That's something completely different. This is the evap canister, but they are part of the same system. Anyway, so I want to take you all through the process of replacing this. It's fairly straightforward. This is my first time doing it, so I'm going to walk you through as I do it. From what I've seen and read online, it is fairly straightforward, and let's hope that it remains that way. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, y'all, so this is the battery quick disconnect on the negative terminal. All you do is you press in this little indent button right here and you pull it up off of the negative terminal. As you can see, that little metal stick right there, cylinder looking stick, that's where this connected to. Super easy. That's all you got to do. And when you're ready, when we're done, you just put that thing back on. So let's go ahead and get started on what we need to do to replace the canister. So I've jacked the car up. I've got a jack here. I've got a chock block on the other wheel. And I've taken the wheel off, obviously, and I've already removed most of the fender liner that I need to remove in order to get to the evap canister. So there are several of these holes here along the fender liner. I'm sorry, it's extremely dirty. The weather is terrible here in Germany. So yeah, whatever. Just don't be wearing your favorite pair of a set of clothes when you're doing this. Your hands and your clothes are going to get really dirty. But anyway, so you remove these. These are going to, I believe the size that you'll need is it's a T25, okay? A T25 Torx bit. Let's see if we can get that to focus. I don't think that's going to focus for you guys. Whatever. Yeah, there we go. T25 Torx bit, all right, to remove 3 screws down here. And then you will need you will need a 10 millimeter socket, all right, for these plastic fender liner socket pieces that just screw off. It's really straightforward. And then you'll need something like a flathead screwdriver for let me find this other piece, this one push pin piece. Just a flathead screwdriver. Get under there, pop this up, and it'll fling out. And you do that all the way up about till the middle piece right here, where the fender liner kind of naturally separates. I hope that's natural separation. And then it'll sag down, and you can see, let me get my light, you'll be able to see the evap canister. That's it right there. And I've got the new one upstairs. I'm about to bring it down once I uninstall this one. But that is the old evap canister. This thing right here, this thing with the white head and the cylinder right here, is the actual, the valve is in that white head right up there. And there's a charcoal element in this cylinder, and this is where the vapor is stored. and I guess you know, I don't know, somehow the vapor works its way. There's a pressure differential, and this valve opens and closes to release the vapor and stuff like that. But anyway, this is the old one because this is a 2018. So we're going to take this off, and I'm going to consult the PDF that I found online on juliaforums.com. I'll put that up on the screen. We're going to take this off, and then we'll put on the new one. Okay, y'all, so the first step is down. You're going to release this quick disconnect, this first vapor line from this nipple here. Okay, there's no method to this other than take your thumb, press this in really hard, it's like a spring, and then pull that way, and it'll pop off after some tugging. I'm pretty sure this thing has never been replaced ever, and this is the first time since this was installed by the factory that this came off. So if you've got a newer car than a 2018, this should be a little bit easier, but it took me a couple seconds to take that off. And then the second thing you're going to do is come over here and disconnect this sensor. This is the actual sensor that goes to the valve that's in here. So when you throw the P2422 code, that's because the valve that's inside underneath this white housing here has stopped moving back and forth. All right. Okay, so for this other inlet outlet line, this is kind of harder to get to. Just make sure that you squeeze this side and the other side. There's one that you can't see, so there's two tabs to squeeze. There's only one tab to squeeze on this one, but there's two tabs to squeeze on this one, on this side and the other side, and then you pull straight out. But so you can get it disconnected. I got it disconnected, but I can't actually get it off of the nipple because it's a very stiff line. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disconnect the whole canister. There's one, get the light here, and 3 screws holding this canister in. So just go ahead and disconnect those first, and then you should be able to pull off the canister from the car. And those attachments are just the same 10mm socket. If you got one of these electric socket wrenches, that makes life a lot easier. All right. Okay, y'all, so if we look at the differences between the old the old evap canister and the new one, there's some big differences. First of all, straight away, this thing weighs a ton compared to the new one, which is very light, and I believe that's because this is full of you know, gasoline, vapor, water, residue, and this is completely empty because it's new. Also, if we turn them around to the back, all right, you can see that this hose that leads from the valve goes up here to this canister up here, which is a new thing, because if you look at this one, this hose simply goes from there to there, right? I still have this canister on the new one. Okay, so this is still here, so that's unchanged, but they've added that new canister, so I'm not sure. It looks like this is obsolete. This doesn't do anything anymore, I guess, at least from the outside. I don't know if there's a internal passage to it, but it doesn't look like this does anything anymore. Seems like they've made that obsolete and they've just added a new canister, which looks like the same type of device, but they've added it to the back. I'm not really sure what that is supposed to do differently. I don't know. Maybe it's the way that it's situated, because it's upright. You know, it doesn't cause the valve to not work anymore. And I wonder if that does anything down here. Yeah, that's interesting. Check out the inside of here. So we can actually just twist off this valve. That's the valve in there that moves up and down. Okay, and then inside of here is the actual charcoal canister. You see that that's like completely black, right? That's just years of gasoline and whatever else, fuel vapor. So if we go over here to the new one, look at how white that is, right? Look at that in comparison to that. Also, the new one is up in here now. Basically, what you want to do is get it situated in here. You can kind of hang it on the bolts there in place while you connect these the inlet and outlet valves onto the new one, and then you can go ahead and tighten everything down. So as you can see, it fits the way it's supposed to. It's actually got room for this new canister up there hanging out. So yeah, do everything you saw in reverse. So all I have to do from now is tighten the bolts down here, the nuts down there, tighten the nut up there, and make sure that you plug this sensor back in. Make sure that's plugged back in, or else you'll keep throwing the code. And then you can put the fender liner back up, put your wheel back on, go inside your car, connect the negative battery terminal, and turn on your car, clear the code, and you guys should be good to go. Okay, y'all, I've reconnected the negative terminal on the battery. I've started up the car and I've cleared all the codes. I have a MX plus OBD connector, so I'm connected to multi-ECU scan on my phone, so I can see all of the factory OEM parameters. So if this is a cool thing, I connected to the engine already. If I go here, and this is real-time diagnostics, my phone is Bluetooth to that dongle down there. If I go down here, there's actually a parameter that monitors the evaporation canister opening. So it's right there where my thumb is. It says Evap control valve opening, and if we monitor it, it's at 0% right now. If we let's see if it moves if I hit the gas, see if that does something. Yep, there we go, you saw that. Excellent. So this will actually, so now we know that it's working, because see, before that number would not change at all. When I was driving, when I would hit the gas, it would not change at all. So that's how we know that the evaporation control valve is working. I hit the gas. Let's see. I hit the gas and it opens up. See that? Perfect. All right. Okay, y'all, so we are at the gas station. It's time for the moment of truth to see if it fills up without any issues. So far, so good. Looks like she's good. By now, this thing would have stopped like 5 times. So, problem solved, everybody.